Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it all started on a dark and stormy night. Noir is a 7% Black IPA from Duclaw Brewing Company in Baltimore, Maryland. Everybody has that style they really like, and they always say to themselves, why don't they make more stouts these days? Okay, that's a really bad example that doesn't work at all, but I always wonder to myself why there aren't more Black IPAs available on shelves. For me, I'll always hold a spot in my heart for the Black IPA. It's the first IPA style that I really enjoyed, and I feel like it kind of just opened the door for me to try other IPAs. When I saw that Noir was on a local bottle shop shelf, I said, all right, that's it. I'm going to review this one next. And here we are, so let's get into it. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Vinny Canton, Cam Freeman, for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just throw me a couple bucks to buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks that are available only to patrons. If the whole monetary thing isn't your thing, share this video. Let's spread the word. So let's take a look at the label here. It's a really cool label. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this from Duclaw before. Across the top, it says brewed and canned by Duclaw Brewing Company in Baltimore, Maryland. Underneath that, it says Noir, and it has this font that makes it look very reminiscent of something from the 20s or the 30s, the 40s, like those noir detective movies. Underneath that, it says Black IPA, 7% alcohol by volume. It's like a street lamp with a hop cone on the top, shedding light down on this little mouse here with a little detective cap, maybe an overcoat, and his tail hanging out. Underneath that, it says craft be cherished, rules be damned. If we turn it to the back here, on the spine, it has the government warning, has the deposit information, lets you know to please drink responsibly. On the other side, it says, Noir, afraid of the dark? Allow this moody masterpiece to change your mind and corrupt your taste buds. Suspiciously smooth, this medium-bodied Black IPA bursts with hoppy hints of citrus and pine, followed by an intense amount of spice, herbs, and tropical fruit. Pour to let the drama begin. You can find out more about them from duclaw.com. Drink or refrigerate ASAP, and then again, craft be cherished, Duclaw Brewing Company, rules be damned. This was canned on, it looks like January 28th, so that's a little old to be cracking an IPA. We're in May right now, so that's about 4 months. So that is kind of outside the realm. I'm just going to kind of hope that this can be stable enough to give a good review for. It does sound interesting that it's going to be a Black IPA. I usually associate those with having a little bit more of a roasty characteristic and having those hoppy characteristics as well. This one, though, it says tropical fruit, so we'll be the judge of that. Let's go ahead and crack it. All right, put a nose on it here. There is a bit of a dankness to it. It has a hoppy, kind of a citrus aroma to it. Let's go ahead and pour it. Really dark out, as you would expect. It's a Black IPA coming really dark out of the can here. I'm going to slow down this pour so we don't over pour. And it is pretty see-through, though, on the pour itself. I'm going to let that just kind of catch up the head there, because that's a really thick, really voluminous head. This glass, it may be the age of the beer, but it's also this glass. This glass does generally produce quite a bit of head. We're looking at about 3.5 fingers of head here. A really beautiful looking head, though. It is a little bit on the tan side. It is super dense. Like, this is one of the densest heads I've seen, especially in an IPA, in a long time. If we hold it up to the light here, very dark, has more of an amber kind of look to it. It is like a dark, deep dark amber. There is a bit of red here through the bulb where the light's coming through. To you, that looks super black. I can see my fingers passing just kind of through the light that's bouncing into this glass, but I'm not really seeing through the beer at all. It's mostly the reflection out of the bottom of the glass. Let's put a nose on it here. Yeah, getting that a little bit of a dankness, maybe a little bit of a roasty, but getting a citrus and getting maybe a little bit of a piney nose on there as well. I'm just going to pour a little bit more into here, so we have a little bit more to go off of. And that's just a really super fluffy head. The head has not really dissipated at all, so I'm going to get a bunch on my mustache more than likely, but let's try it out. Cheers. So we always talk about the mouthfeel here first. Really light, really crisp for an IPA. There's not like a medium body to it, but it does feel very light. Again, very crisp. Very different from what I'm used to with IPAs, just in general, regular straight up IPAs. Let's talk about the flavor. I kind of swallowed that pretty quick. There is a lot of flavor going on here, and I can give you a hint. It does actually have some tropical notes to it, so let's talk about that. So it does have a lot of qualities of a black IPA that I like to look for. It has a little bit of a roasty, a little bit of a malty in there. On the finish, it also has that same kind of vibe. But you get these hints. So you're getting a hint of the bitterness with the citrus bitterness. I am getting a little hint of tropical. The bitterness isn't super strong. Again, this is a couple months old, maybe about a month after you would probably normally like to drink an IPA, but it still holds on to a lot of those flavors. So you're still getting a little bit of that bitterness. You're getting a little bit of that citrus bitterness, maybe a little bit of a piney. I am getting a little bit of a tropical. I felt like I got a little bit more tropical on the finish of the first taste. The second taste, I feel it was more of a, not a palate cleanser, but like a palate adjuster. So I feel like I was getting a little bit of like a tropical vibe to it there, but I feel like on subsequent tastes, I haven't really been picking up on that. Let's go ahead and pour most of the rest of that in. That head's going to rise up. Again, head super fluffy, super just heady. Let's take another taste and see if I can get... I feel like on the aftertaste is maybe where a little bit of that kind of tropical note comes through. Holding it on my tongue and kind of swishing it around, it does come up with quite a sweetness to it. This is a little bit sweeter than most black IPAs that I've had in the past. It does have those kind of roasty, malty notes in there as well. A little bit more of a roasty flavor. I mean, you don't generally get roasty out of regular straight up IPAs, but with black IPAs, I feel like I get a little bit more of a roasty characteristic. Again, I do get, there is like a citrus sweetness to it, maybe a little bit of like a tropical kind of pineapple-y flavor in there as well. But I also get this kind of, again, a little bit of a roasty. It's just really pretty pleasing. Like, I'm really pleased with this as a black IPA. I feel like it does go in a little bit of a different direction than most black IPAs that I've had. When I think of a black IPA, I generally think of those kind of bitter, hoppy qualities, but I also think of a little bit of a maltiness, which just has a little bit malty flavor to it. But I also think of those kind of roasty flavors that kind of bring out the darkness of the beer itself too. And this has a little bit of that roasty to it, but it also, again, has that sweetness, has those kind of little, kind of subtle, tropical, sweet, citrusy notes to it. It has that citrus bitterness. I don't know if I pick up so much on the pine, but I do pick up on that kind of pineapple-y, tropical flavor in the sweetness, not so much. And then on the finish, again, the finish has more of that kind of roasty quality. This has me wishing that I would have picked it up a few, maybe a month earlier, maybe a couple months earlier, so I could have got a little bit more of a fresh taste. But even at the state that it's at, this is really very pleasing. I'm very happy with it as a black IPA. Would I love to see more black IPAs on the shelf? Absolutely, I'd still love to see more. I think on this channel I've only done maybe 3 so far. This may be the 4th. So I'd like to see more of the style in general. I don't know why they're not on shelves more. If you know more, let me know in the comments down below. All right, friends, that has been Noir from Duclaw Brewing Company out of Baltimore. Have you had this beer? Do you plan on having it? And are there any other black IPA fans out there? What are some other black IPAs I should try, as I mentioned earlier? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. You just got to show up and watch them. And, you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting the notifications. If you are subscribed, if you are getting the notifications, feel free and please share this video out to your friends. Let's widen that craft beer net. Let's bring in more craft beer fans. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer. Support your local breweries. Again, these guys are in Baltimore, Maryland. And most importantly, until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Cheers.